They thought I was just another pretty face he'd throw away when he got bored. His family called me gold digger. His friends whispered I didn't belong. But when my billionaire husband tried to replace me with his childhood sweetheart, he had no idea who he was really messing with. Before we dive into this incredible story of betrayal, revenge, and ultimate triumph, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss how this story ends. And drop a comment below. Have you ever been underestimated? Let's get into it. My name is Gabriel, and this is how I went from broke and broken to billionaire boss. While my ex-husband went from penthouse to prison cell, I was 29, running my own digital marketing firm in Atlanta, making decent money helping small Black-owned businesses compete with major corporations. Then I met Vincent Laurent at a business summit in Miami. Vincent Laurent, French-American billionaire, built a social media empire worth $12 billion. When he approached me after my presentation, I thought he was just being polite. "Your strategies are revolutionary," he said, those green eyes locked on mine. "I've been looking for someone with your vision to help expand my platform internationally." That consulting contract was more money than I'd ever seen. But Vincent wanted more than business advice. Private dinners turned into weekend trips to his vineyard, helicopter rides over the Pacific, shopping sprees in Paris where he'd buy me designer clothes just because he liked how they looked on my skin. "You're not like other women in my circle," he'd whisper. "You're real. You understand struggle. You make me want to be better." Every word was a calculated lie, designed to make me trust him completely. The proposal happened on his yacht off Monaco. 10-carat diamond, string quartet, promises we'd build an empire together. "I need a partner who understands both worlds," he said. "Someone who can help me connect with communities my platform hasn't reached yet." I said yes because I believed we were going to change the world together. The wedding was a fairy tale that turned nightmare the moment it ended. Vincent's family, old French aristocracy mixed with American tech royalty, made their feelings clear. His mother looked at me like I was a stain on her Persian rugs. During the reception, I overheard her telling relatives, "Vincent is going through a phase. This little experiment won't last long." Little experiment. That's what she called our marriage. I played the perfect wife, moved into his Malibu mansion, attended charity galas, smiled pretty while Vincent's friends discussed business like I wasn't there. When they acknowledged me, it was backhanded compliments about how exotic I looked or how lucky I was. The worst part was watching my business die. Vincent kept finding reasons why I couldn't focus on my clients. "We're invited to the Pemberton Gala. My mother expects us at the family retreat. Always our plans, never mine." Within 6 months, I'd lost most clients. Within a year, I'd closed my firm entirely. Vincent promised I could restart anytime, but there was always some reason to wait. Some family obligation, some crisis, some event requiring my presence as his perfect accessory wife. I was becoming everything I'd sworn I'd never be. A woman defined entirely by her husband's success. 2 years in, things changed. Vincent worked later, traveled more, took mysterious calls behind locked doors. Then I started hearing about Amélie Dubois. Amélie was everything I wasn't. French, blonde, born into Vincent's social class. Her father owned luxury hotels across Europe. She'd gone to the same boarding school as Vincent, summered at the same estates. "Amélie has brilliant insights about the European market," he'd say. "Amélie thinks we should pivot our strategy. Amélie and I are meeting investors in Paris next week." I looked her up. Amélie Dubois was stunning in that effortless European way. Designer clothes that looked natural, a smile that belonged on magazine covers. She had her own consulting firm, working with luxury brands. The kind of woman who belonged in Vincent's world without trying. When I confronted Vincent, he made me feel crazy. "Amélie is a business partner, nothing more. I can't believe you'd think that about me. Maybe you should trust your husband instead of creating problems." But I knew something was wrong when Vincent started changing our plans. Events we'd attend together became boring business meetings I wouldn't enjoy. Weekend trips got canceled for urgent business in Europe. The breaking point came when I found a jewelry receipt, a custom Cartier necklace worth more than most houses. I'd never seen it, and our anniversary had passed months ago. That night, I waited with the receipt in my hand. When Vincent walked in at midnight, I held it up without saying a word. The look on his face told me everything. "We need to discuss our marriage," Vincent said, sitting across from me like we were negotiating business. "I think we both know this isn't working anymore." "Is this about Amelie?" He paused, calculating. "Amelie and I have reconnected. We have history, shared experiences, common understanding of what our lives require. Common understanding. Translation: she's rich, white, and acceptable. So you're leaving me for her. I'm ending a marriage that should never have happened. You're smart, Gabrielle. You understand people from different worlds can't always bridge those gaps. Different worlds. Like mine was inferior." Then came the devastation. My lawyers prepared divorce papers. Given the prenup, this should be straightforward. The prenup I'd signed when love blinded me. According to those papers, I was entitled to virtually nothing. $2 million. Sounds like a lot until you realize it's less than he spent on one room's art. You planned this, I realized. This whole marriage was a setup. Vincent's mask slipped, revealing something cold underneath. "You gave me exactly what I needed for 3 years. A compelling story, connection to communities that boosted engagement 40%, softening of my image that increased consumer trust. But now I need something different. Something different. I wasn't a wife. I was a marketing strategy that had outlived its usefulness. The board wants alignment with traditional partnerships. Amelie brings institutional knowledge, family connections, strategic value for luxury market expansion." He was discussing our marriage like a corporate merger that underperformed. 4 weeks of hell followed. Vincent moved out immediately. I was left in our house with staff who didn't know how to treat me anymore. Media painted it as amicable, close friendship with Amelie, speculation about European expansion. I was Laurent's wife, who ran a small marketing firm before marriage. Small marketing firm. 3 years reduced to a footnote. I moved to a Santa Monica apartment and spent 1 week crying, eating takeout, wondering how I'd been so stupid. Then I found something that changed everything. Packing my last items from Vincent's house, I discovered a digital device hidden behind books. When I plugged it in, I found Vincent had been recording everything. The first file made my blood freeze. Vincent's voice, talking about our marriage. The experiment exceeded projections. Gabrielle's demographic appeal increased engagement among Black and Latino communities, 68%. Her presence tested extremely well. Consumers saw us as relatable, socially conscious. Experiment. Our marriage was a social media marketing experiment. When do you transition to phase 2? Another voice, his business partner. Soon. Boards ready for luxury markets, requiring different positioning. Amélie brings sophistication and connections for European expansion. Her family's hotels create natural synergies. What about Gabrielle? She served her purpose. Diversity initiative required authentic representation. She provided that perfectly. Now we need someone who opens doors in elite circles, understands old money culture naturally. They discussed me like a product, completing its marketing cycle. But Vincent's arrogance had documented everything, including criminal activities, recordings of market manipulation, insider trading, tax evasion, conversations about bribing officials, stealing technology from smaller companies. He'd recorded himself confessing to dozens of federal crimes. I spent 2 months transforming into someone Vincent never knew, a woman with nothing to lose and everything to gain. I used my settlement strategically, not for luxury, but warfare. First, I needed allies. Every person Vincent destroyed remembered everything. Dr. Sarah Washington, whose AI startup he'd stolen. Antonio Reyes, his former security head fired for asking questions. They'd been waiting for the right moment. My plan was simple but devastating. Let Vincent destroy himself using his own weapons. Phase 1. Financial destruction. Using gathered evidence, I created anonymous whistleblowers leaking to regulators. SEC questioned international transactions. IRS audited tax filings. European regulators opened data privacy inquiries. Vincent fought fires on multiple fronts without knowing who lit them. Phase 2. Talent acquisition. I launched Phoenix Digital, systematically recruiting every skilled Laurent Media employee. Double salaries, equity stakes, and something Vincent never gave: respect. The exodus started slow, then stampeded. Key programmers, analysts, specialists jumped ship. Vincent tried retention bonuses and legal threats, but you can't force talented people to stay where they're undervalued. Phase 3. Market destruction. I had recordings of Vincent admitting to overcharging clients, providing substandard service, stealing proprietary data. I could have exposed this immediately, but instead accelerated her timeline. I leaked selective information about Vincent's legal troubles, painting imminent corporate disaster. Amelie, thinking she was saving her family's investment, moved faster, downloading files, copying client lists, transferring strategic information to Dubois Industries. Then I made sure Vincent discovered everything. The confrontation was nuclear. She accused him of being a criminal whose company would collapse anyway. He accused her of being a lying manipulator. Both were right. Amelie left immediately, announcing Dubois Industries terminated all Laurent Media partnerships. She told Wall Street Journal about discovering fundamental ethical problems with Vincent's practices. With Amelie gone and his company in free fall, Vincent was alone, paranoid, watching his empire crumble. Stock dropped 60%. Board demanded answers he couldn't provide. Media asked uncomfortable questions. But I wasn't finished. Vincent's annual shareholders meeting was March 15th, 3 years after our divorce. He used this event to project strength, reassure investors Laurent Media was thriving. I made it his public execution. 2 weeks before, I released everything. Every recording, every document, coordinated media campaign, rolling out revelations systematically. Monday, tax evasion documents showing $2 billion hidden offshore. Tuesday, recordings admitting technology theft from dozens of companies. Wednesday, stock manipulation and insider trading evidence. Thursday, employee testimonies about discrimination and illegal practices. Friday, recordings calling our marriage an experiment, discussing me as marketing asset. By weekend, Vincent Laurent was tech's most hated man. FBI opened criminal investigation. SEC froze assets. International news ran nightly exposés. Morning of the meeting, I released a 60-page report detailing every fraudulent activity, but offered solutions. Phoenix Digital would acquire remaining assets, provide client transition services, honor contracts, hire displaced employees. I wasn't just destroying Vincent's company, I was absorbing it completely. Vincent never showed to his meeting. Lawyers announced Laurent Media bankruptcy and his immediate resignation. I watched from Phoenix Digital headquarters. In 2 years, I'd gone from broken woman with settlement check to CEO of a $4 billion company. 6 months later, Time magazine featured me as Entrepreneur of the Year. The article detailed building Phoenix Digital from nothing into tech's most innovative company. It mentioned my previous marriage to disgraced former CEO Vincent Laurent, but focused on achievements, ethical technology vision, community empowerment. Vincent was in federal prison, awaiting trial on 37 fraud counts, assets seized, reputation so toxic his family publicly distanced themselves. Amelie married a German pharmaceutical heir, living her best Munich life. She'd spun her Vincent involvement as business relationship ending when she discovered his crimes. Me, I was thriving beyond imagination. Phoenix Digital was revolutionary, changing social platform operations, prioritizing user privacy over profit. I'd created the company I'd always dreamed of working for. The sweetest moment came when Vincent called from prison. Gabrielle, desperation in his voice. I made mistakes, but never meant things to go this far. Maybe we can work something out. Which mistakes, Vincent? Marriage fraud, business fraud, tax evasion, or underestimating my intelligence? Silence. Then, maybe Phoenix could hire me as consultant when I get out. I have valuable experience. I laughed. Vincent, you thought I was disposable. You thought I was weak. You thought I was nothing without you. You were wrong about everything. Please, I've lost everything. I need a chance to rebuild. The same chance you gave me when you threw me away. The same consideration when you recorded yourself laughing about manipulating me. No answer. You'll serve your 15-year sentence thinking about treating people like disposable assets. When you get out at 60, you'll be an ex-convict with no money, no connections, no valued skills. Meanwhile, I'll be running the company that used to be yours, living in the penthouse that used to be yours, enjoying the respect you threw away. I hung up and blocked the number. 3 years later, Vincent remained in prison. Phoenix Digital was valued at $8 billion. I married Dr. Michael Thompson, a surgeon who treated me as an equal partner in everything. The woman discarded like trash became the undisputed queen of the industry that tried to throw her away. Vincent did me the biggest favor of my life, showing what I was capable of when I stopped making myself smaller for someone else's vision. He thought revealing his true nature would destroy me. Instead, he freed me to become who I was always meant to be. Not just successful, but unstoppable. This isn't just about revenge, though watching him fall was satisfying. It's about recognizing your worth and refusing to let anyone convince you you're worth less. Vincent saw me as temporary, replaceable, forgettable. He was wrong on all counts. I wasn't just irreplaceable, I was inevitable. When someone shows their true character, believe them. When someone treats you as disposable, show them how wrong they are. When someone underestimates your intelligence, strength, and strategic thinking, use their arrogance against them. That's how you turn betrayal into billions and transform from victim to victor. Because the best revenge isn't just success, it's making enemies irrelevant while you become absolutely essential. And that is how you serve revenge colder than Antarctica. Honey, from broke and broken to billionaire boss, while he went from penthouse to prison cell. If this story gave you chills and thrills, smash that like button like you're smashing the patriarchy. Share this with every woman who's been underestimated. And drop a fire emoji in the comments if you're ready to build your own empire. What was your favorite revenge moment? Let me know below. Subscribe, because your girl's got more stories of women who turned their pain into power. Remember, the best revenge isn't just success, it's making them irrelevant while you become inevitable. See you, queens, in the next one.